Today, I want to show you guys how I make a baked spaghetti. Now, this will be low carb, and I don't make it very often, and I don't know why I don't, but because it's really good. But I'm going to make such a big batch that we're going to be able to have this for at least two meals, just between Steve and I. Oh, and this is Dr. Steve Hewlett's channel. I forgot to mention that, and I am his wife, Teresa Hewlett. So I just want to get to this really quickly. So anytime you watch me and I'm baking, or not baking, but I'm cooking ground hamburger beef or anything like that, I always go ahead and cook it up beforehand. I'm assuming most of you know how to do that. So right here, I have what I have done. This is 2 pounds. Got 1 pound of hamburger meat, 1 pound of spicy sausage. We get all of our meat locally from a farmer here, and it's really good. But we like to mix sausage and hamburger meat. You could do all sausage, all hamburger. You could do ground turkey, ground chicken, however you want to do it. I also sauteed some onions and some garlic. I did all that before I put in the hamburger meat. I have also drained the hamburger meat. So now I'm going to add marinara sauce. You can add any sauce you like, but this is the one we like. It has the lowest amount of sugar and the least amount of ingredients. So this right here, I got the basil tomato. They're all really good. So any sauce that you want to add, you can add. So now I'm going to add the marinara sauce. And this is 2 pounds, which of course you don't have to make 2 pounds. You could only do half a pound if you would like, or 1 pound. So, but I'm going to use probably all of this. Yep, definitely adding all of it. So here I'm going to add all this, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some cheese to this, which I've already grated. And because you don't want to buy the prepackaged, because it has a lot of extra ingredients you don't really need. And I've already grated that. And you could use any kind of cheese, but since this is a spaghetti, I went ahead and just did mozzarella cheese. I've actually done like a pepper jack cheese before because we like spicy. And I'm going to also add, to make this even more spicy, some slap your mama. You could do cayenne pepper, crushed red pepper flakes. You can do whatever you like. Steve and I like fairly spicy. Hopefully that's not too much. And we're going to get this going here. Going to get this all mixed in. Now, another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add this pasta to this. And it is no carbs at all in this. And I'm getting ready to pour it out of the package. I want you to see what this looks like. And then at the same time, I'll read the ingredients because I've got to get my glasses on. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this, strain it, and then I'm going to rinse it off with water. And then you'll see what this looks like. And so here I have opened the bag, and I'm going to pour that in there. Now, I think this is only about 2 servings, so I'm debating on if I want to do, another bag. So as you can see, not a whole lot there, but I'm going to rinse this off really well. Get that rinsed off. And if you would like, you could cut it up. Steve doesn't like it being quite so long. He doesn't like quite the slurpy. So I'm going to give it a few cuts. And I'm going to show you again what this looks like. So it's miracle noodle. So I love the angel hair pasta. And right here, so it has 5 calories, 3 total carbs, 2 from the fiber. And then there's no sugar. So you want to be sure that whenever it came in this extra little package also, you want to dump that in there. I think I may end up doing another package because we have 2 pounds of meat. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one. And honestly, you don't even have to add this if you don't want to. But I know that when people go low carb, they really miss pasta. And if you think about it, pasta is really just a texture. It doesn't have a flavor to it. It just takes on everything else that you've mixed with it. So this is a great way for somebody that is missing pasta and they would really like to get that texture kind of feeling. It is different feeling than pasta, but it is still a different texture for you. So I'm going to open up the other package and I will get that dumped in with my meat sauce. So I actually changed my mind and I'm just going to stick with the 1 package. So I think it'll be enough because we don't necessarily need to have that. So I'm going to make all this mixed up in here. And the next thing I'm going to mix is, I'll mix this up better. And also when you cut it, it makes it so that's easier to mix with that as well. But I'm also going to add in my mozzarella cheese. And like I said, I've already grated this. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mix all this in here and then save a little bit extra to go on top when I pour it in my pan. So I probably have about 3/4 of a cup that I've mixed in here. So I'm trying to get it mixed in really well. And then I'm going to pour it into this pan. So this is my nice little Pampered Chef pan I've had forever. I'm going to pour it into this, and then I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. So I'm going to pour this a little bit more, or stir this a little bit more, and then I'll be right back. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pour this in here. And like I said, you could do any, oh, and I also went ahead and I put a little olive oil on the bottom of the pan so nothing would stick. And I also mentioned that you don't have to use mozzarella cheese. I am this time, but I've done pepper jack cheese. You could do cheddar cheese. You can do, actually, you can do anything you want to do. But I'm glad I only did one package of the noodles because it looks like it's going to be just perfectly fine. I am trying to see if you guys can see that very well. See how you can kind of see the noodles mixed in there with the cheese and the hamburger meat and the sauce. Now I'm adding more cheese because that's the way to do it. You got to have lots of cheese. And just so you know, the cheese is different whenever it feels, the texture is different whenever you grate it yourself. Like the other cheese is more dry. I don't really know. I guess it's because of like the potato starch and all the extra things that they add to it. And I'm just going to just finish this off. This was probably a total of a cup of cheese. And then if I feel like there's not enough after I bake it, then I'll just add more cheese. So I'm kind of just trying to spread it out a little bit here better. And I'm going to put this in the oven, 350 degrees, for about, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes. I'm not really sure. It's kind of thick, maybe even a little bit longer. I'll let you know how long it actually takes, and then we'll come back. So it's been 20 minutes, and I've looked at it, and it looks done. So I'm going to pull this out of the oven. And then, so this is a huge batch with the 2 pounds of meat. So we got cheese, and then a little bit of the noodles are in there. So I'm going to let this set. I don't want to cut into it just yet, but I'm going to let it set, and then I'll come back, cut into it, and I'll let you see what it looks like. So I've gone ahead and I went ahead and cut into it right away because it was smelling so good. But it's just real, I was thinking it might look more like lasagna, be a little bit more set up, but it's not. But it smells amazing. And I'm going to also add Parmesan cheese on top of this. And I want to show you guys this. This is, so anytime I would think about grating cheese, I always thought of, the one that stands up and you run it like this and you like risk, torturing or doing something terrible to your hands. So I always hated doing it. So I was always buying the bag cheese. But then I discovered this little guy, and you just put the cheese in the top, and then you just do this, and the cheese comes out this way, and it is so easy. I'll do the example in another video. But I'm going to put my Parmesan cheese inside of this. I get it at Costco. And I'll also put a link to this little cheese maker and to these Miracle noodles. I'll put those, I'll have Amazon links for those. And then, but I will put some cheese on top of this. Now this would be very low carb, and something you could do, because we won't have any bread with this. They do have low carb and keto breads out there, 0 carb breads, but we won't do any bread. But you could do a salad if you wanted to do a salad with this. We won't. Into the summer, I just don't want to get all the stuff for salad, so I'm not going to make a salad. But I have a video showing our like a Greek salad. It has olives and feta cheese in it. So that would go great with this. And actually, I'm going to link that here for you guys so you can see that video and hopefully click on it and see how to make the dressing and make that salad. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure that you like and subscribe this channel. Helps with the algorithm. I'm sure you've all heard of the algorithm, but it really helps Steve's channel out. He's trying to get the word, help everybody to, eat healthier, be more conscious, and to know that we're in control of our health ourselves and that we can make a difference in our lives. And it's not up to the drug companies or the doctors to do that, that we can do that on our own. So be sure you like this channel and be sure to share it with some friends. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.